There's a long-haired cat asleep on my kitchen chair right now who has not brought up a hairball in 6 years, and it is not because she swallows less hair than yours. Here's what almost nobody tells you. A hairball is not something your cat needs to cough up better. It is a gut that got too slow and too dry to move the hair on through, and one drop of the right thing at supper fixes that. So why has no vet, no pet store, no fancy treat on the shelf ever told you which drop it is? My name is Ruth. I have kept cats for close to 40 years. I grew up on a farm where the barn cats kept the mice down, and I spent a lot of years cleaning up after a country vet who let me watch and ask my questions. I have buried cats and I have saved cats. And I am telling you, the hairball is one of those small, everyday things that most folks have completely backwards. You know the sound. It is the middle of the night. That deep, wet, hacking cough from the dark corner of the bedroom. You lie there and you wait for it, and in the morning you find it with your bare foot on the way to the coffee pot. A wet gray clump on the good rug, every single time, and it is never in an easy spot. It is on the pale carpet, not the tile, always right where a guest will step. If you keep a cat, you know exactly what I mean. For years, I thought that was just cats. I thought a cat that coughs up hairballs is a normal cat, and there was nothing to be done but buy the little tubes of sticky paste and the special treats in the bright bag and hope for the best. I bought all of it. I spent good money. And my cats kept right on hacking. Then I lost one, a sweet orange Tom named Biscuit. He stopped eating. He went quiet and hid under the bed. I thought he was just in a mood. By the time I understood, the hair had packed up hard inside him. There was a blockage, and the vet could not save him. That one is on me. I did not know then what I know now. Quick word before I go further. The old methods my family uses, there is more of it than fits in any one video. I gathered the whole of it into a book you can buy in our pinned comment below. The book is the long version. If you want it, it is there. I will not mention it again. So here's the first thing you have to understand, because if you get this wrong, nothing else will help. The hair is not the problem. Let me say that again. The hair is not the problem. Your cat is going to swallow hair. There is no way around it. A cat grooms herself for hours a day, and that little rough tongue of hers is built like a rake. Every time she cleans herself, she swallows a mouthful of loose fur. A long hair swallows more. A cat that is shedding swallows more. A cat that is stressed and grooming too much swallows a whole lot more. You are never going to stop the hair from going in, so stop trying. The real question is not how do I keep hair out of my cat. The real question is this: once the hair is in, where does it go? And that right there is the whole secret. It is not what the pet store wants you to believe. Let me tell you what happens inside a healthy cat. She swallows the hair, same as any cat, but her gut is moving and her gut is slick. So that hair does not stop. It rides along with everything else, down through the belly, through the long road of the gut, and it comes out the other end in the litter box. You never see it. You never hear a cough. The hair went in one end and out the other, quiet as can be. That is what is supposed to happen. That is a cat whose plumbing works. Now here's the cat you have got. She swallows the hair, same as any other. But somewhere along the way, her gut slowed down. Maybe she does not drink enough water. Maybe her food is dry. Maybe she is older. Whatever the reason, the hair does not keep moving. It stops. It sits in the stomach. And more hair comes in the next day and the next. And it all mats together into a wet-packed clump. When that clump gets too big to sit there any longer, her body does the only thing it can. It sends it back up. That is the hairball on your rug. So listen close, because this is the part that changes everything. A hairball is not your cat winning. A hairball is your cat losing. When she coughs one up, that is her body saying, I could not move this the quiet way, so I had to do it the loud way. Every hairball is a little alarm bell. It is telling you her gut is running too slow and too dry. Most folks hear that alarm and go buy something to help her cough it up easier. That is exactly backwards. You do not want to help her cough it up. You want the hair to never come back up at all. You want it to go down and out the quiet way, the way it does in a cat whose insides are working right. Think of your cat's gut like a garden hose. If the water is running and the hose is slick inside, anything you send through comes out the far end. But if the water slows to a trickle and the inside goes dry and sticky, things start to catch and pack up and clog. Your cat's belly is that hose. The hair is not the clog. The dry, slow hose is the clog. The hair just gets caught in it. And here is what makes me angry. Walk down the cat aisle at any store. You will see a whole shelf of hairball this and hairball that. Special food, special treats, little tubes of goo. All of it is built around the idea that the hair is the enemy and you need to fight the hair. Almost none of it fixes the one thing that actually matters, which is a gut that stopped moving. They are selling you a mop when what you need is to turn off the leak. A hairball treat that does not get the gut moving is just an expensive snack. I fed my cats those snacks for years while they hacked away, and I have got the vet bills and the buried tomcat to prove it. The good news is the fix is cheap. It is simple. And you can start it tonight with things that cost less than one bag of those fancy treats. But you have to do it in the right order. And there are a couple of places where folks go wrong and actually hurt their cat trying to help. So let me walk you through it, step by step, the way I do it in my own house. The first step costs you nothing but 5 minutes, and it is the one everybody skips. Brush her. I know, you have heard it. But hear me on how. The whole point is simple. Every bit of loose hair you pull off with a brush is hair she does not swallow. You are stopping the problem before it ever gets inside her. I call it beating her to it. She is going to groom herself in an hour and swallow whatever is loose, so you get there first. Use a fine metal comb or a proper de-shedding tool, not one of those soft little brushes that just pets the top coat. You want to reach down and lift out the dead undercoat, the stuff that comes loose in your hand. Here is the trick most folks miss. Do it right after she eats, when she is full and sleepy and calm, and go with the way the hair lays first, then gently against it. A long hair needs this every day. A short hair a few times a week. In shedding season, everybody every day. 5 minutes. When you see how much hair comes off in your hand, you will understand how much of it was headed for her belly. Now, the second step. This is the one drop. This is the thing I wish somebody had told me 30 years ago. It is fish oil, salmon oil, made for cats. A single drop mixed into her wet food at supper. Here is why it works, and it is two things at once. First, that oil greases the road. It coats the hair and the inside of the gut, so the hair slides along instead of packing up. That part starts working the very first night. Second, over a few weeks, the good fat in that oil, the omega-3s, feeds her skin and her coat from the inside, so she sheds less in the first place. Less hair coming loose means less hair to swallow. You are greasing the road and you are cutting the traffic on it, both at once. Folks start seeing a softer coat and less shedding around the 3 to 5 week mark, but the gut starts moving better that first night. Now here's where people go wrong, so listen close because getting this wrong can hurt your cat. Number 1, buy the oil made for cats. Do not grab the fish oil out of your own medicine cabinet. Human fish oil is dosed for a grown adult many times your cat's size, and a lot of it has added things in it, like rosemary extract and other flavorings that are fine for us and not fine for a cat. Get a plain salmon or fish oil made for pets, in a dropper or a pump. It runs about $12 to $20 and lasts months. Number 2, start with 1 drop, not a spoonful, a drop. Too much oil too fast gives a cat loose stools and a bad night for both of you. Start at a drop, and if she does fine, you can work up a little over a week or 2. Number 3, keep it in the fridge, out of the light. Fish oil goes rancid if it sits warm and open, and rancid oil does more harm than good, cold and dark. That is the whole trick to keeping it good. And while we are here, let me say the thing that scares me most because the internet is full of it. Do not, ever, put essential oils on your cat or in her food for this or for anything. I know they get sold as natural. Natural does not mean safe. A cat's body cannot break those oils down the way ours can, and they can poison her, even a little bit, even just on her fur where she licks it off. Tea tree, eucalyptus, peppermint, all of it. Keep it far away from the cat. The safe oil is plain fish oil made for pets. That is the only drop that goes anywhere near her. The third step is fiber, and I use plain canned pumpkin, not the pie filling in the pretty can with the sugar and the spice. That stuff can make her sick. Plain pure pumpkin, nothing added. Half a teaspoon mixed into her food a few times a week. The fiber is like a little broom. It grabs the hair and sweeps it along and out. It also softens things up if she is a bit backed up, which a lot of hairball cats are. Start with a 1/4 teaspoon so you do not overdo it, because too much pumpkin swings the other way into loose stools. A strong-smelling wet food hides it just fine. The 4th step is water, and this is the quiet one nobody thinks about. A dry gut is a stuck gut. Cats are terrible drinkers by nature. They came from the desert and their bodies are built to run a little dry, which is exactly why the hose gets sticky. So we push the water, feed wet food, not just dry kibble, stir a spoonful of extra water right into the wet food, and get her a little water fountain, the kind that keeps the water moving. They run about $25, $30, and cats will drink far more from moving water than from a still bowl. One more trick. Put the water somewhere away from her food bowl. A cat does not like to drink right next to where she eats. It is an old instinct. Give her water in its own spot and she will use it more. That is the whole system. Brusher to cut the hair going in, 1 drop of catfish oil to grease the road, a little pumpkin to sweep it through, and plenty of water to keep the whole thing flowing. Cheap, simple, and it works with her body instead of against it. Now let me pull back and tell you why this matters more than a stain on the rug, because it does. A hairball you can clean up. The paper towel, the smile at the door, the spot on the carpet, that is the small cost, and you can learn to live with the small cost. It is the cost you cannot see that should worry you, because the same slow, dry gut that leaves a clump on your rug every week is the same gut that can pack up hard and turn into something far worse. But remember my biscuit, he was 9 years old, healthy in every other way, and I had watched him hack up hairballs for years and thought nothing of it. I thought it was just his way. It was not his way. It was a warning, and I did not know how to read it. Remember what happens when the gut keeps slowing and the hair keeps packing and nobody catches it. It hardens. It blocks. And a blockage in a cat is not a mess on the carpet. It is an emergency. It is a cat who stops eating and hides and goes downhill fast. And it can mean surgery that runs into the thousands, or it can mean you lose her, the way I lost him. Keeping that gut moving is not about a tidy house. It is about never letting it get to that. And think about the money the honest way. A tube of hairball goo, a bag of hairball treats, a special hairball food, month after month, year after year, add it up, then set it next to a $12 bottle of fish oil that lasts half a year, a $2 can of pumpkin, and 5 minutes with a brush you already own. The cheap way is the way that actually works. The shelf is full of hairball products because hairballs sell product. Nobody gets rich telling you to brush your cat and add a drop of oil, but that is the truth of it. Here's the thing I most want you to carry with you. A cat does not cough up a hairball because she is a cat. She coughs it up because her body ran out of quiet ways to move it, and the loud way was all she had left. Every hairball is her asking you for help, the only way she knows how. Give her the quiet way back, and the loud way stops. It really is that simple. Now, I have to say the serious part, because I would not forgive myself if I skipped it. If your cat is gagging over and over and nothing comes up, if she stops eating, if she goes quiet and hides, if she is straining in the litter box and nothing happens, do not wait this out and do not treat it at home. That can be a blockage, and that is a same-day trip to the vet. The drop of oil is for prevention and for the everyday cat. It is not for a cat in trouble. When in doubt, you call the vet. Please hear me on that one. But for the everyday cat, the one who just hacks one up on the rug every week or two and drives you crazy, here's exactly what I want you to do tonight. Brush her, even just for 5 minutes, and see how much hair comes off. Put 1 drop of cat salmon oil in her supper. And if you happen to have a can of plain pumpkin in the cupboard, stir in half a teaspoon. That is your whole night. That is where it starts. Then come back and tell me in the comments. Tell me how old your cat is, whether she is long hair or short, and how often the hairballs have been coming. I read every one. And come back in 2 weeks after the drop and tell me what changed. I want to hear it. Next time I'm going to show you the 30-second look I take at the litter box every morning. The one thing that tells me a cat is getting sick a full week before she ever acts sick. It has saved more of my cats than any pill in any bottle, and once you know what you're looking for, you will never skip it again. Until then, brush her, feed her the drop, and give that good cat the quiet way home.